my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and I'm joined with my twin sister, twin partner in crime. I don't know, twin brother, I should say. I'm saying sister, twin brother.
So you
My
is there
angel.
something you're not telling me about your
I
gender?
don't know. I'm not sure what I'm saying half the time. So yeah. My angelic form. So yeah. So yeah.
I've sort of gone to Alan Heaven. I've got sort of an all white angel with my white hair. It's sort of
You just need the halo. You just need that
I
little.
know it's there, but it's
It's
invisible.
almost there actually. Just the
Yeah.
way, yeah. It's quite it's quite funny. So this is going to be the hottest Silver Age comics of the week. It should be a pretty good list. I actually kind of have it as two lists this week.
Yeah,
The
you get the
first,
interesting ones.
I get the interesting ones, and I give all the crappy ones to Mark. So, so I give all the big ones to Mark, actually. But
I know, but
the
yours are
one
more interesting.
mine are more interesting. It's more of a Allen theme, I would say. Bit of an Allen theme to the first ones, and the more sort of regular kind of spec hotness ones are more on your list. So uh sorry. It's just the way it worked out.
Right. Okay. Where am I going? Am I going there? I'm going here. There we go. Oh, this is a great one. I absolutely love this. So I've never seen it.
Yeah, I was looking for this after, by the way.
I had a look for this. The only one I could find was an 8.0 at £750.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cover though. Just something simple, yet the purples are
Yeah.
quite nice.
It's Gene Colan, I think.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
What a great cover. I love the purples and greens.
Yeah,
Gene Colan, uh, Art Preddy, Joss Rosenberger, and Bernard Sachs.
yeah. Just a classic good girl cover. Heartthrobs.
Yeah.
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 Just-
Fantastic. Having seen this earlier, I am now collecting romance comics.
I've influenced a few people, I guess.
So having seen this one, I went and looked, had a bit of a scour of UK eBay and found a couple of heartthrobs, very
Uh-huh.
similar generation to this one. In fact, around the sort of 80 and 90 mark,
Yeah,
at reasonable prices and reasonable grades. So yeah.
there is some cool cover. There are some cool covers there. But I was surprised by how expensive they are, like on eBay. This
They
same
are.
issue,
Yeah,
quite
this issue in
expensive.
particular, yeah.
So yeah, I was like, okay, maybe not. You have to be lucky and get it off of Heritage sometimes.
Yeah. And this is a good price, I think. 192 for 6.5.
Hmm.
Right, let's see what's. I imagine there's not many of these on the census.
No.
Oh, here we go. There's five of them at this
Mhm.
grade, and actually the price is down. I thought that was a good price.
I think there was some outlier one though. That's an outlier.
368 in January this year.
Yeah, but that's an outlier. Like, I mean, if you look at the line, it's just like crazy outlier sale. Um, but yeah, I still think this is a good one, a good price for this book. I think that's
Yeah, I mean,
something.
if I saw that, if I'd gone onto eBay after having seen that and found one at $192 for a 6.5, I'd have probably bought it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, these romance books for the longest time were dirt cheap. I used to pick them up $10,
Yeah,
10, $20
yeah,
for mid grades. I'm not saying
yeah.
high grade. But now I think people are beginning to recognize that there's some pretty amazing artists and writers and everything. Like these books they were kind of thought of things as
Yeah.
just for
I mean,
girls or whatever, but they're
John
actually quite
Romita
good.
did romance comics for ages before he joined Marvel.
Yeah, yeah.
Neil Adams.
Neil
Uh,
Adams, yeah. Um, some really major ones. Lee
Kirby.
Elias,
Kirby did them as well.
yeah, Kirby. Yeah, I mean the very first romance book, which I have, is Simon and Kirby.
There you go.
So
Right, very
very
nice. I like
cool.
that one. Where are we going
And
next?
what's you said it's
Oh,
five on the census, so
no,
that's
it's
crazy.
five at that grade. There's only 18 on the census total.
18 on the census. I knew it was a really low census count, but really beautiful cover. I mean, the purple and the greens work really well together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And if you'd asked me if you'd told me that was Gene Colan, I probably wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, I know it's kind of strange, but very cool. Very cool book.
Right. Okay. Off we go with the next one. It's another romance, and this one is amazing. It's got the Beatles on it.
Yeah, so I didn't pick this for the romance part. I actually picked it for the Beatles part. I thought this was a really kind of interesting one. It's amazing how much Beatles covers go for.
Yeah.
They're they're just highly sought after.
It's Gene Colan again,
Gene Colan is just the man for romance.
and he's done a
That's a
pretty
good
good job.
cover too.
He's not done a bad job with the Beatles.
Yeah, they look like the
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can
As soon as you
recognize
see
them.
it, you go, "It's the Beatles."
Yeah, and they look like you can sort of name each person there.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, that's one of the problem with a lot of artists. Everybody looks the same. It's I find a lot of artists like that where it's hard to tell who the characters are.
yeah. But no, it's pretty good. It's from 1965. Mike Skowski art inside. Really nice copy. I mean, that's a really nice looking 5.5, I have to say.
I know it's very sharp. I'm shocked that it's only a 5.5
This must
actually.
be what's wrong with this.
I don't know. Maybe the back is just half torn and
The
mangled. I don't
spine
know.
looks all right. Staples look
Yeah.
good. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going
it looks like a nice solid copy.
on. Yeah, it does. Okay. 264, I think that's cheap.
I'd say it's reasonable.
Ah, it's the only one.
Okay, so it's a record.
There's only it's a record, yes. Let's have a look at the whole thing.
Yeah.
There's only I can't believe there's only this small number because the Beatles member is only 20 graded. Why hasn't everybody had their copy of this graded?
I don't know. I mean, this any of the Beatle ones generally go for a bit of money.
I know, so that's what normally with Beatle memorabilia, people would have got this graded almost immediately.
Yeah. So what is there comparative to this? Is like what was the 7.0? I see a sale for the
Yeah,
7.0.
but it was in 2013.
Oh geez. Anything recent? Any recent sales? Can you see?
There's the one with the one with there's a 360 here on a 6.5 in September 2022. So that was COVID.
Yeah, but no, these wouldn't have been impacted by COVID.
No,
The
so
romance craze is more of a recent
382
thing.
for a 6.5 in 2022. There's nothing really comparative.
Yeah, so 6.5 sold for less or more.
More
So three something, and then this is two something. Okay.
350 and
Um,
this
but
260
it's
is about right,
yeah,
isn't
yeah, it's probably about right then. But yeah, but it shows that even in a mid grade, this book is quite pricey. You know,
it?
if
Yeah.
you imagine a 9.0 of this, you know, you're talking.
I personally would have thought I go to attend a number of auctions and you quite often get Beatle memorabilia. Uh,
Mhm.
and it's a bit like it's I mean, how silly it is with, if the comic contains a Mark Jewelers, it sort of doubles its value.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My view is having the Beatles on the cover would at least double the value of the comic.
More than that,
Yeah,
probably triple.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I was lucky. I went to some convention and I saw, oh, hey, there's a Beatles cover there. And the guy didn't really have that much of a price on it. I was like, okay, I'll pick that up. I did that for the one where I was competing with Matt,
Oh
where we were
yes,
trying to
yeah,
get books for under 50
yeah,
bucks.
yeah,
Got that for under 50 bucks. So
yeah.
I was
Well
like, oh,
done. Good. Right, that's very good. Two really interesting ones there, Alan. Well done. You're doing well so far. My list is going to be
okay.
boring compared to this. Right, next
No, it's
up.
still cool.
Next up, we got another
This
another
one I
Kirby
have.
cover.
So this one I can totally relate to.
Well, yeah, this is right up your alley. Have you
So
got
this book,
this?
yeah, I have it in 4.0,
Okay, so you
4 or 5, I think it is,
yeah.
something like that. But this book usually is pretty pricey. Actually, I think this is down, believe it or not. Because this is like Dan DeCarlo cover. So they usually go for crazy money, and it's a beautiful cover. It's got four showgirls on it. Just some fun stuff.
There we go. Yeah, and it's in a 2.5
Hmm.
BCS. Um, $276. Hmm.
Yeah,
That's a
seems like a very affordable copy. I've
right.
seen this book listed at like in a little bit higher grade for about 1,000.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, the last sale was 2017, and this is down.
yeah, that's what I was saying. It looked like somebody got a steal on this one. So yeah. So what was the sale way back when?
Yeah, it was 299 in 2017.
So a little bit of a, but you would have expected this book to have gone up a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, I would have done. I think you're right. Whoever bought that got a good bit of a steal, I think.
Yeah. I mean, these showgirl ones are quite hard to find. I mean, look at the census count. It's probably like under 30.
Census count is 27.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very hard to find, and there's a lot of people that collect Dan DeCarlo. Um, so yeah, this is one of those books that if you're a collector, this is one of the ones you'd gravitate to. Pretty much the whole run is usually quite pricey. So it's not a very long run. I think it's only 3 issues, 3 or 4 issues, maybe.
I'll tell you.
I think it's like, yeah, 3 or 4. I have like two
Three
or three.
issues, four
Yeah, 3 issues.
issues. Yeah, four
Yeah,
issues.
is 4 issues. Yeah, I thought so. Um, but yeah, it's a very cool one. Number 4 is actually a really nice cover. I really
This
like
one.
number 4. Yeah, I have it as well, but
Yeah.
I think I have 3 out of the 4. I'm missing one of the issues. I forget which one I'm missing, but
Okay, right. That's some three nice ones. Let's go. We're going to go downhill now.
downhill. Yeah, well, okay, this one I put on the list. It kind of works into your list a little bit. Um, so this one I thought was interesting because it's early Spider-Man
Yeah.
and it's a restored copy in a low grade. So
Yeah.
there's for me, a lot of things that are kind of like curious about how well these kind of books perform. And Vulture is a like fairly established character now in the general audience kind of way. Like he's been in 3 movies, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. He's well established.
Yeah.
Uh, right. Okay. That's quite a badly worn cover. Look at it.
Yeah. Well, it is a
Why
2.0.
that's why it's a 2.0 restored.
It could have been the case like sometimes when you see that kind of damage like that, you think, well, okay, maybe they tried to remove the restoration
Yeah. Maybe try to clean it. Yeah.
and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Made
Right.
more of a mangled copy.
Alan, this is defying your usual rule that restored copies in
Or
low
at
grade,
least hold their value a bit better. Yeah.
that's halved its value.
Yeah. So what was the peak
The
and
peak
when was the
one
peak?
eight, and it's just sold for seven. Look, so the last one of these sold for 1750. This one sold for 720.
But is it 2022 again?
It is, but these are all 2022.
So it
Yeah,
kind of jumped up and then came back down.
yeah,
Okay. So what you got to do, this is kind of like I have to get you to do a little extra work on this one. Okay. So we know that this has gone down by half, right?
yeah, yeah.
So let's go over to the Blue Label 2.0 and see how it performed compared to the restored. And then we can say, oh, yes, yes, they're performing about the same, or is the restored performing a bit better? Well, okay,
Uh,
peak.
Well, so restored sale, the last restored sales 1190, so selling for $400 more. Uh,
Yeah,
and the peak was 2796. Yeah, so it's declined by a similar amount.
by similar amount. So this is kind of an idea that I was thinking about. Generally, if a blue label goes up whatever dollars, the purple label is a percentage of that, right?
Hmm.
You know, if you're buying it, you know that it's restored. You're I'm not saying something where you're surprised, oh my God, it's restored. No, but if you buy it restored and you know that it's going to be a percentage of that blue label. But the upside is greater with restored because if people start accepting restored books as a viable option, it's not the purple label of death anymore, then even if it is like a percentage more, like let's say right now it's 50% for restored, but because it gets more acceptance, it's 70% more. Well, you'll gain that,
Yeah,
bonus
I
value.
understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
However, in this case, I mean, and we have
It's
seen
about the same.
we
It
have
hasn't
seen a
been
number of cases where restoreds have performed better.
we saw a couple that sold for more than
Yeah, we did.
the
We
blue label.
did.
It was
Yeah.
so crazy. Um, but yeah, so this is not quite there yet, but
Yeah.
it just but it didn't perform that bad, is
No,
my
no,
point.
it's done
It's
okay. Right. Has
how
it
many on the census, just quickly. Just
so
I always like to know the census count. It's a thing.
2988.
Well, so it's a usually with these Spider-Man ones, it's like 5,000. So it's a sort of mid-range one
Yeah,
in terms of census count.
yeah.
Okay.
Right. This is not we saw this a long time ago, and you told me a story about this cover.
Yeah.
This is Wonder Woman 98.
You
There's some
remember the story?
on this. It's a new team, isn't it? It's a new Wonder Woman origin and a new
New
art.
Wonder Woman origin, and it's the first Silver Age Wonder Woman
Ah, right. Okay.
because that's the two big things. It's kind of the more classic story that we think of when we think of Wonder Woman's origin in terms of her having to battle it out to become the person that goes to our world to
Yeah.
to rep. Yeah, so this is the that version. Um, just a classic book. This one was really pricey during the pandemic. Actually, I mistakenly bought it during the worst time. I think
Right.
it's
Okay.
uh. So yeah, I was like, but I really wanted it. Um. Yeah. So the move she's doing, by the way, is Koichi Gary.
Do you think she knows that? Right.
uh.
It just looks like
Actually, it's
wrapping a
maybe
leg
not
around
Koichi
something.
Gary. It's actually Kosoto Gary.
Okay. Well done,
Actually,
Wonder Woman.
or maybe sorry, or Osoto Gaki. Yeah, sorry. Just because of the leg position, you gotta kind of figure out what it is. It's an outside leg. So that's like major, like and then Gake is reaping.
So
So
which of
it's
these
like
Wonder Woman is the real Wonder Woman? Is it the Wonder Woman facing us?
I would say the one that's gonna win is
Yes, okay. Which looks like the one on top, this one here.
yeah, that one there is the one that's winning.
She's the one put doing the move on her leg here, isn't she?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Osoto Gake.
So how much did this sell for? $1,080.
Okay, so I know that that's a good price because of how much I paid for mine, and
Yeah.
mine's lower grade.
Yeah.
So I didn't do well on this book.
You've got them well, okay. Uh what grade was it? 5.5.
5.5. Yeah, it's a solid grade. This seems like a really good price to me. So I was like, when I saw this, I was like,
Oh
oh
dear, oh
man,
dear, oh dear, oh dear.
I told you I didn't do well on this one.
This didn't even have a COVID blip.
No, well, it was probably didn't sell during COVID or
This
something.
is this has been on a steady decline for 8 years.
Yeah,
Why is this doing so badly, Alan?
a couple of reasons. One is Wonder Woman hasn't been doing so well the only first movie was good. Second movie was bad enough that people really didn't, want any more Wonder Woman. Um, I don't know. I think people just, and how many people really collect Wonder Woman as a title, except for me. I just think people don't respect Wonder Woman. It's always been a cheap book, actually. Wonder Woman generally has been a fairly affordable
It
series.
wasn't cheap in 2016. You'd have
Well,
paid
yeah.
you'd have paid $6,200 for this. Now you're
Wow.
paying 1,000. That is a really steep decline over 8 years.
Yeah, that is
And it's a
brutal.
steady decline as well. It's not, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's not, it's yeah, this is a downward trend. This is one that you would short if you're an investor.
This is on the small stack of comics where Alan has lost money.
Oh yeah, well, that's a pretty big stack actually. I don't know. But yeah, I actually do like this book. This is a very cool book. It just doesn't get the love that it deserves. If you look at the census too, it's not that high of a census count. Look, I think it's like a few hundred.
I mean, there's only seven at at the 5.5. Yes, it's less than 200. Yeah,
Yeah,
182.
yeah,
And it's a fairly major key.
yeah, yeah. It's just underappreciated Wonder Woman book. I think maybe a good time to buy it because
Yeah.
how much lower can
How
it
much
go, really?
lower is it going to go? Surely can't go
I
much.
mean, it used to be a pretty solid one. Like if you look up the 3.0, okay? I mean, that's what mine is. I think mine's a 3.0.
Well, that's similar story.
Yeah, similar story. I should have waited. I was just too eager. I think I paid like 800 or something like that for mine.
Oh, well, you're not too bad. Current
Yeah,
FX.
but no, you could have got a 5.5 for a little bit more.
Yeah, and this is 660 now, so
Yeah, it's gone down a bit. There was a bit of a bump. You can see a little bit of a
a
bump.
little bit of a COVID bump, not much.
Yeah. I think I bought it in COVID. I was like, oh well.
Hmm.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
This one,
Okay.
I definitely didn't. So yeah, so that's my list. Actually, Mark's list is cool, so you got to go check it out. It is like more of a traditional list, like hot books, but there's some pretty cool things that kind of are relating to what's happening right now in the MCU. So go over there and check out his list. It's actually a pretty good list.
Okay. See how
Bye.